Hello, and welcome to the final day of the Legends of Mathematica Kickstarter. We have 6 hours to go, and in the period of time between me opening this window and looking here, we gained 1 backer. So we're no longer at that round number of 50, but we're at 51, which, I still like that number. The dollar amount is 3,431. We'll see if we get anything else at the end. We'll do one last report at the very end of this whole thing to say what our final numbers were and what our final amount of backers were. And as yesterday, I already did the recap on all of the different advertising ideas and infos that we went over. I have a little bit less to say today. The only bit is the announcement. So what was the announcement? I know for those of you who've been following up until this point, probably all hyped up about it. It's nothing too big, mind you. Firstly, we will be messaging, or at least attempting to message all of the backers on this particular project and letting you know, it's like, hey, thank you for backing us on this. We really appreciate it. Those of you who did back, all 51 of you, we will be looking to do something special for you in the game, particularly since we've already had that whole graveyard epitaph thing for members who backed at a particular level. The 51 of you, there will be a special something for you. For your grave in the game, and some of you who actually didn't back at the epitaph level, you will be getting a particular grave. Now, the only reason we can really do that, is because the numbers did stay as low as they did. But yes, so that will be one thing. For y'all, your graves will look a little bit different in the game, look a little special. We'll have something for that, and I'm going to be working with the artists to get an idea of exactly what that is, and I'll let you know as soon as we do. But the other part of the announcement is that we will be doing a relaunch of the Kickstarter with an adjusted request amount. And that will be happening in about 3 weeks, give or take. The reason for that period of time is in part at the very beginning. I noted that there are many other things that I do. One of them requires me to be in the process of moving, and I need to take care of that business before we get into doing other things. But yes. There will be a relaunch. The updates for that one won't be nearly as, nearly as common. We won't be doing dailies, because that was mostly for this one, so that we could show, the idea of, updating daily doesn't really do things. But yeah, that was mostly for this one. For the next one, it will just be updates for milestones, so the opening, the middle, the end, and also hitting different percentages of backerage. Also, the relaunch will be happening across multiple platforms. It will be happening on Kickstarter, it will also be happening on Indiegogo, and it will be happening on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. There may be others, but we will announce those when the time comes. But for now, that's how it's going to go. All of you who've backed, you will be notified of the relaunch, and you will be notified of all of the different platforms. And all of you who are watching but didn't necessarily get the chance to back or couldn't figure out how, I know there were some of you that was what happened. I still thank you for your viewership, and I thank you for taking the time to look and to consider. I appreciate that greatly. And I hope that as we move forward into the future, and many, many other people go in and do their own Kickstarters and such, that they may or may not come across this one, and they may learn a new lesson from the 30 days that we've posted. I also hope that many, and I know there are a lot of people who don't necessarily need these lessons. But yeah, that's the announcement. I know some of you might be a little bit disappointed and probably expecting something all groundbreaking and whatever, but no, that's all. That's all. Just a relaunch. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring us to the sign-off. Play the games you want to play, boyos. This is Redco, signing off.